Hello and welcome.
We are back
It,
again.
it is Farmcraft. Here we are, farming and crafting once again. Um, we have some great challenges cooked up for you this season, and also just a little sneak peek of what's coming in the next few minutes. An LMS adaptation with Cleverlike and Cleverlike Schools. So we have some fun new things to unveil for you. But first, before we hop into the meat of it, my name's Claire LeBeau, Chief Advancement Officer at NASEF, the network of academic and scholastic esports federations. We work with schools and after-school programs around the world, helping you to game, grow, learn, and lead. Oh, you can't quite see the whole tagline in my background there. I got to move my chair too. Game, grow, learn, lead. That is what we're all about. And we are really fortunate to partner with Cleverlike Studios and folks like Eric who can help us bring the fun into the learning. I just gave away your name, but go ahead.
That's okay. They
Who
know
are
my
you?
name. Yeah, so I'm Eric Leitner, go by River, and I am the education content producer for Cleverlike Studios, because you have not heard that yet until right now. But a little background, I was a classroom educator, STEM and computer science, as well as general science as well, for 13 years. And then for 7 years served as a district-wide STEM and computer science instructional facilitator for Broward County Schools. And now for the last few years, I've been with Cleverlike Studios creating amazing content in video games that kids love. Our motto is we take the games the kids are passionate about and we sneak in the vegetables.
That works for every program you do, but it especially works for Farmcraft.
Yeah,
right?
we're literally sneaking in the vegetables.
In actual vegetables everywhere you go in Farmcraft. We're also sneaking in caterpillars, which some people love and some people hate, but
and this season we're sneaking in a whole bunch of stuff you can't eat.
That's right.
So,
That's right too. So speaking of this season is called Land Demand, and it is all about understanding food, clothing, and shelter. And where do those come from? How do we grow them? How do we replenish? All of those are built into this season. So as I said, there is the challenges that have you, once you're in the regular season, you'll be playing in this custom world and you'll be working on reaching specified targets for food, clothing, and shelter. Boy, I'm really struggling to get that out of my mouth right now. I don't know what's going on. Food, clothing, and shelter. So that is during the regular season. Eric, can you describe what the two different seasons are?
Absolutely. So we have our build challenge, which is, we call it sort of our preseason, but it's part of the season, right? It's not like a preseason in the way we would think of sports. But in that part of the season, what we are asking students to do is start to put their ideas together. What do they know? What do they not know about the topic? And then share their learning on each of the challenges that we give by building out a Minecraft world of their own and taking us on a tour through it to represent the learning that they've done on the topic of that particular challenge. As we get into the regular season, the folks here at Cleverlike, myself included, have developed a fully fleshed out, completely modded Minecraft world that takes you through challenges. That is a speed run, if you will, through some of these farming practices that challenge you to do all of the things we've learned in those build challenge parts of the season, and now put them into action, and then strategize as a team, come up with best scores, submit those scores. And even in that regular season, we have challenges where we say, we want you to try to go about the game, but do it this way, because that's where the learning is. Like, what happens if we can't do this thing? Or if we only do this thing? How does that change our outcomes, right? And that's really what this is all about, is learning some of those real world farming practices by actively doing and seeing what some of the outcomes or how they change actually are.
Right, exactly. So the build challenges are sort of like the foundation and understanding the principles. And then the regular season, you get to see how those work out in the real world. Of course, the learning is the most important thing here, but it's Farmcraft, so we have to have prizes. So we will have prizes for each division, the junior division and the senior division, and first, second, and third place. And then we also do a random draw, so that if you are brand new and maybe you don't do quite as well, but you're still excited to be here, we want to give you a shot at winning a prize as well. So we will do a random draw also. So prizes at $250, $200, and $100 for each division. So I know for the teachers, that is not the most exciting part, but often for the students, that is a very exciting part. So always happy to provide those prizes. And so we're going to just jump right in. So Eric is going to share screen for us, and we're going to show you, because as I mentioned, we do have a few new components to the Farmcraft experience this time around. So if you have participated before, lots will look familiar, but then we also do have this new access that you can get. So Eric, why don't you show us what we've got?
I will take it away. So I am at nasef.org/farmcraft. And if you're not sure where to go, at the bottom of the screen in big blue box there is nasef.org. And if you head there, you can actually find a lot of this right up here at the top. If you click play, there's a Minecraft competitions tab. And from there, you would find Farmcraft, which is where we are. The first thing you'll see, of course, is the register button, and this is how to register your team. Of course, you do want a adult sponsor to register that team. That can be a parent, that could be an after-school club counselor, that can be your classroom teacher, that can be any adult that's basically going to be responsible for making sure your entries are in, making sure we have the information we need in order to make sure that your team is successful. Obviously, you can't claim a prize if you're not registered in there, so you want to get registered in there. Below that, however, and we'll come down a bit, and I'm just going to skip this part right here for just a second, right? You'll see this is something new that we're doing this time. It says build challenges in the Clever Lake School LMS, but we're going to skip over that. But down below, this is where you will find some of the resources that we provide every season, right? You'll see the challenge guide. You'll see it's also available in other languages, Spanish and French. And you'll see a basic timeline of the events, as well as the prizes that Claire was mentioning earlier, all listed here. Down below, you'll see some resources for educators. And those are sort of like links to the YouTube channel, which is where you're watching this. So you probably already know where to go, as well as some technical requirements and things like that for playing with or utilizing Minecraft. And using some of the tools like Immersive Reader, which are great for educators who are working with students where maybe English is not their first language. However, what is new this time for educators is this right here. So we now have, we've been partnering a long time. We said, let's go take it further. Let's make things even better for the educators.
Exactly.
So build challenges are now in the Clever Lake School LMS. So if you function really well, if you're like, I have never guided the students or facilitated the students through a Minecraft challenge experience, and I really need some, step-by-step instructions, that is the goal of the LMS. So everything will be there sort of broken apart into pieces to have conversations with the students, to present the challenges to the students, to know where to submit and when. All of that's going to be piecemeal in the LMS. So let me take you into how do we get into that, right? So the first thing is you'll notice there is an onboarding guide right here. And if you click that, you will see a document that walks you through the steps of how to get access to the LMS. It's not very many steps, pretty simple. And I'm actually going to go through them in a moment. So we're not going to spend too much time on the document. And then, of course, you'll see access to the Farmcraft in Clever Lake School LMS. And this is where you would click to start that process of getting access. So we are now in the cleverlake.school portal. At the top, I'm going to click sign in. And this is, by the way, even if you don't have an account, this is how you will gain access. So I'm going to click sign in, and this is the login screen. And what you'll see is sign in with Google or sign in with Microsoft. And this is what you want to use. You will see this or continue with down here, this email and password. Our platform does allow for generated student accounts when we have like a license with a school or a district and so on. But since we're offering this to you for free, we're not generating millions of student accounts. You're welcome to use your existing Google or your existing Microsoft account. We do not collect any of that data, but it is an easy way to gain access. So I'm going to use Google, and I'm going to go through this process. I'm using a dummy account as if I'm doing it for the first time. So if I do Google, and again, don't have an account yet, right? I was already logged into my browser with that, and I'm in. I have an account, right? And it noticed my name and everything. Now, the first thing I can do is if I don't want to use that as my name in the platform, I can come down here and I can change that. Maybe I need more exclamation points.
River.
Right? There we go. It's much better. Perfect. Right? So now that I'm in, I'm going to go to my courses here at the top, right? Because I want to find the Farmcraft course. But you'll notice when you go there, you don't have a course. You are not registered in any courses. We have provided in that document, I'll go back to the document, down here, right? You'll see that there is a join code. And I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll just highlight that and copy it. And I'll come right back in here.
Nice large numbers there, so it stands out.
Yeah. And I'll paste it right in here, and I'm going to hit join. And when I do, look at that. I have a pending course now for Farmcraft Land Demand. Now notice it's the red thing is telling me I can't go in yet because that is pending approval. We will be approving accounts that are requesting access about once every 24 hours. So please allow a day to gain access to that course. What I'll do is kind of walk you through real quick what that looks like once you do have access. So let's imagine you have to do the ripple effect, 24 hours have passed, right? And I'm just going to, approve this student. And it's
like a cooking show where they put it in and then they go, voila, and they open it up and you have your fully baked cake.
So on another screen, I am the teacher in this course and I approved access, and you'll notice now it says that this is a student. You will be getting student access. Even if you're a teacher, no, that doesn't mean that you are a student. It simply means that we are adminning this course and you are getting access to this course. So that is what that student role means, right? And you can click into there. So let's click into our course and we're going to give it a minute. And here we can see our information. We can see who our teachers are, and Claire and Carolyn are going to be joining our list of teachers here as well. So if you need to contact us, our information will be right there. As well as we'll see the unit content right here for Farmcraft Land Demand. There it is, right? So if I click into there, here's everything sort of broken down. And check this out. I got this progress bar down here. I could see what we've been through and what we've not, because over here it says, and I'll just do this so you can see it better, right? That's not complete yet. But I can also jump to any part of it. So this is essentially the team guide as well as some additional information broken into components. So if you want to introduce this to students and talk about things like what Farmcraft is and what the code of conduct is all about, how do we, deal with misconduct? And I'll scroll down like, what are the awards? Like, what are the prizes again? I forgot, right? So all of that information is here. And that way you can work through it step by step with the students, as well as preseason challenge 1, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. But you can also, if I hit start course, right here, we see here are all of those linear right here. And here's all the information about the introduction. And at the bottom, I can navigate through the course step by step. Right. So I can go through all of this stuff that maybe I want to cover with my team at the beginning of the season. Right. If you're not sure how to register, we've got all the step by step, including the button on how to register right there. So it's in multiple places for you now, and I'll just jump ahead. And once we get into, and this will start today, preseason challenge 1, right? You'll have all the information there step by step. And I'll keep this open here for a minute as we talk about that. But real quick, what I also want you to notice, right, is what's live as you start to get access to this, right? You're going to have the team guide information all accessible right from the start. And since we're kicking off with preseason build challenge 1, you're going to have all of that accessible right there. But preseason challenge 2 will go live on the date it goes live. So you'll see coming soon for all the additional challenges that are coming to follow.
So I can't get ahead of myself. That's a good thing.
You cannot get ahead of yourself. And it's great because you can always come back here and check and be like, did they announce challenge 2? And if it says coming soon, that means we didn't. And if it's there, it means we did.
Right. Exactly. So one of the things that I love, can you go back to that number 1 project overview for challenge number 1? Because I don't think we call attention to this all the time. Go ahead and scroll down a bit. Focus standards.
Yes.
This is something that's really important. And I don't think we always say, hey, did you know that these are aligned to important standards? So I really like that those are called out right up front here.
They are, as well as learning objectives specific to what the students will be, what the expectations for students are by the end of that particular activity.
Right. Yeah. So for those of you who are implementing this during the day, those standards and those objectives are very important. Not, they're helpful after school, but they're not a requirement. But it's important that you know that we are aligning these to standards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
So do you think we're ready to tell them challenge 1 because we're like so close already? Like it's 1 click away.
You're right on there. You are right.
Right, because the prompt is right here. This is the prompt for challenge 1. I don't know. Do I click it? Should I click it?
I think you should. I think you can click it. Yes.
Let's click it. All right, let's take a look at challenge 1. And here is preseason challenge 1, the what and why of crops. And I'll just take a moment to read through this one a little bit. The word crops is not limited to one type of plant or single purpose for growing those plants, right? We said not everything we're going to do this season is edible. A wide variety of crops are grown around the world with a variety of purposes. So design a farm. This is what you're going to do in your own Minecraft build. Your team is going to do. Your goal is to design a farm in Minecraft world to model and highlight the crops grown in your area or region and explain what each of these crops is used for. So, for example, in the area where I live, I don't have to drive far to see cornfields, but I also don't have to drive too far to see cotton growing and other crops as well. And I know those two things, for example, are not used for the same purpose. So consider ways to build or present those ideas or concepts that do not exist in a typical Minecraft world. Explain the content you included in your build and why you chose to include it. And there are definitely some guiding questions you should consider while doing that, right? So, of course, the first one is what grows here, but also, why are they growing that here? What are these things used for? What are the challenges that farmers in my area might face? For example, we know, especially across North America right now, the weather has been a little interesting.
It's too hot. It's too cold. It's
right. Yes. I live in a place that should be cold, and it's in the 60s Fahrenheit right now. And I have friends who live in a place where I used to live, which is very warm, and they got into like the 20s Fahrenheit, which is below 0 Celsius. So things a little topsy-turvy, and that might be a challenge. Mm-hmm. And of course, what resources do they need in order to be successful in doing that in that area? Right. So once they have done that, or once you've given them the challenge and the students know the challenge, you may want to take them, and we even broke these into further steps. Like, well, you do have it for presenting that, and yes, this recording is part of that. And well, once we have this live stream done and we have the recording all set, we'll put it in here for you as well. But you can review the challenge with them. And then one of the things we always ask, or suggest is do a KWL chart. And if you don't know what a KWL chart, that is your what I know, what I want to learn, and what I learned. Right. So an idea is like, what do students already know, or what do they think they know? Because sometimes it's misinformation, right? What are their goals of learning, right? I would need to learn what crops grow here and why might be that question. And then what have we learned as a result of doing some of the research? And guess what? The next step is do the research. And for here, we provide a ton of vetted resources that you can use to research some of that information, whether it is maps that will take you to the information in your area or other areas, or it could be world data. And of course, it can be about some of the resources or crops that humans tend to grow. And then finally, of course, once you have done that, the goal is to complete the build. And I will just click on this next button right here, right? Review that challenge one more time, complete their build, and enter their submission. And we've got the submission link right here for you. So you never have to wonder, where is that link, right? It's right at the end of this activity.
Yeah, it is really handy to have it all right here in one place. I love this.
And of course, if I do this, right now this says end of unit and takes me back and tells me I've only gone through 11% because the season is not over.
Correct. Awesome. That's great. Well, I hope that you all appreciate as much as we do here at NASEF having this additional resource and having everything in the LMS and just step by step and links at the ready. But again, if that doesn't work out for you, we do have the PDFs. And if you're looking for those other languages, those are still available in PDF as well.
The one last thing I'll share is if you're sitting there wondering if you got approval, like you're logged in, you're waiting for approval, there is this little alerts in our LMS right here, and that will let you know, like if you've been approved to join it, you'll get this little alert right there.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
excellent. It's so straightforward. I don't have any questions for you, Eric.
No notes. Okay.
No,
you know what? We're hoping that some of the educators who participate do have notes. We always want to make things better.
Yes, right. Exactly. So just to recap, We have the challenge guides, again, available in the Clever Like School LMS. We do have the PDFs available, and you access all of this, as always, at www.nasef.org/farmcraft. The challenge this time around, the what and why of crops. So, different kinds of crops, as Eric mentioned. You're lucky you have them all around you. I'm in Nevada in the desert. We have a little bit of farming, but there's a whole lot of alfalfa for hay for animals. But
I'm like, what else,
much.
Micro? Artichokes? Do you get artichokes?
We don't have artichokes. We don't. No. There are a lot of ranches around here, so there's a lot of cattle ranching also. Yep. Yes. So you're going to design a farm that models what's grown in your area or your region and explain what these are used for. If I wanted to make it more exciting, I might imagine a couple 100 miles away, we have California. And of course, in California, there are thousands of crops, and I could consider that my region. So if you don't have too much right around where you live, maybe you live in a city, you can look a little further out and see what is close to you. So we have another stream coming up very shortly. So mark your calendars, and we will be sharing the details of the next challenge that we have. And again, as always, those are available either on the NASEF YouTube, or we embed it right on the landing page. So if you just bookmark one thing, just keep on coming back to nasef.org/farmcraft.
And get those Build Challenge 1 submissions in on time, because if they're in on time and we love what we see, we're going to share them on the next live stream.
That's right. And we love to do that. Yes, we love to do that. And we have seen, it's so exciting for the kids. Mm-hmm. So if you're an educator and you're watching this, please make sure that you send those in. We love to share those. So speaking of builds and challenges, we have a little sneak peek for you here, because as we mentioned in going through the format, this is the build challenge aspect, but pretty soon we'll be in what we call the regular season. And that includes gameplay in this awesome modded world that the Clever Like team has created. So we're going to give you a sneak peek of that world. And with that, we will sign off. So thank you all for joining. As always, if you have questions, you can email us at info@nasef.org, and we will see you next time around.